do it. Oh, okay. We're good. Howdy, I'm Olivia.
And I'm Julia.
Welcome back to the Hive, or if you're new, welcome. By clicking on this episode, you have entered our Hive, the space we can geek out about movies, TV, books, music, celebrity, and decide whether our topic of the week is a pop culture high or a pop culture low. This is Hives and Lows. Okay. What do we want to talk about first? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So the first thing we want to talk about today is the Timothée Chalamet lookalike contest.
Yeah, there was a Timothée Chalamet lookalike contest. Was it in New York?
It was in New York. And so it happened, what was it? I think it was a week ago where there was a picture of Timothée Chalamet walking past the poster for it.
Yeah, because he's shooting something right now. So he was like fully like dressed in his like character attire. And then, by the way, he looks wild.
He does look wild.
And he's walking past this like poster like on like a pole of the Timothée Chalamet lookalike contest.
Yeah, and so was it what, like Sunday?
I don't know. Well,
wait, today, yes.
Well, for you guys it'll be later, but
like Sunday, October 27th, I mean.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
For us. But yeah, and then he showed up to the lookalike contest. Timothée Chalamet himself showed up to the lookalike contest, which is the funniest thing he could have done.
Yeah. And I feel like he should have been a judge.
That would have been great. Although Dolly Parton did the same thing.
Oh, she did?
Remember that? Dolly Parton showed up to her own lookalike contest and competed and lost.
Oh my gosh. Wait, that's like what Adele did when she showed up to her impersonator thing and she pretended to be an impersonator.
Okay, celebrities do this all the time, so maybe this isn't news.
No, but it's news to me because the person who organized the event is a YouTuber I watched called Anthpo.
There you go.
And he is the one, he does all these crazy things. He investigated one of the cults that the Yellow Deli organizes.
Oh, yeah.
He also did a Beyblade battle during an anti-mask rally.
Oh, that's funny.
In high school, he used to do more so like dressing up as weird characters and terrorizing his high school. Like, I think he dressed up as like Ben 10 and stuff like that. But in college, he did like more crazy things. So Anthpo, if you're listening, big fan, great job. I was so glad to find out that he did this.
Yeah,
I was
gasped.
I was like, of course he did this. Why didn't I think anything different?
And then someone, so funny.
Yeah, and then someone also got arrested, but the charges are not clear yet. And I think they also got
arrested at the Timothée Chalamet lookalike contest, and there was a live stream for it.
Yeah, what are you in for? Timothée Chalamet lookalike contest.
I looked too much like Timothy, and they had to arrest me. They couldn't have me win over him.
He sued me because I looked too much like him.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It's my favorite.
We should dress up as Timothée Chalamet lookalikes.
No, people said that. People say my Halloween costume is the one that got arrested.
Speaking of Halloween costumes.
So there's a new trend on Twitter where, let me find the, I don't know what the sentence.
It's the gay Halloween costume trend. And it's been like literally like tickling us like the entire time.
Yeah. The entire week that Olivia and I have been together, we will each find a tweet where someone does it, show it to the other one, and either it'll be us laughing or haha, I already saw that.
Yeah.
Let me go. No, this is far back. Hold on. I just gay Halloween is so crazy. Like, what do you mean you're dressed up as blank?
Yeah.
So the first one I see on my page is gay Halloween is so crazy. Like, what do you mean you're dressed up as the dress to impress default avatar?
We played Dress to Impress.
Yeah, we did.
We played Dress to Impress here. We got really serious about it.
I think we got third place.
We got third place. We should play again.
We should play here.
Yeah,
it's on the podcast.
Yes, podcast episode, but it's just us playing Dress to Impress.
Yeah, I always have because Smosh did it, and they've always said like we should do a Smosh like fan one. So I always have Smosh games on notifications. So in case they post about it, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm on this. I'm
That's fun. I loved playing Just That was the first time I ever played Just Fast.
no.
So I was really into it. But the one that I saw was what do you mean you're just as Shane Dawson playing with makeup, and it's that thing where I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it's he put on his story where he was like, "I'm getting better at makeup," and it's the worst eye makeup you've ever seen on somebody, and somebody dressed as
It's so
that for Halloween.
funny.
It's so funny. I'll find it, but
Yeah, but you were saying last night, like I know it's not connected to this, but like celebrities do so much boring Halloween costumes, and then just people that aren't celebrities at all do the most insane shit, and I give props more so to them than.
yeah, I just think it's crazy how you have all this money and you have the most boring Halloween costume. Why aren't you more fun? Like they're always like Batman, or they're always like a Disney princess or something, and I'm like,
And it's nothing to it too.
yeah, it's
Like
like the
they're
most
just.
basic. Like they went to Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, because I've dressed up as Batman, but I dressed up as emo Bruce Wayne Batman. I didn't dress up in a Batman costume.
This is our Halloween costume, guys. Guys, the Covenant is down here. Our mic is sitting on a DVD of the Covenant. Um, and we should be Chase Crawford and Sebastian Stan from the Covenant.
Covenant. I mean, I okay. Well, you kind of have the 2005 vibe.
I do, but that's for our
That's for our
topic.
topic. Okay, where I know that I have,
Yeah, we'll have some of the ones pop up on screen.
but like, oh, there was one with Dan and Phil's blanket, and Olivia
Yeah, I
showed
was
it to
like, what
me,
do
and I
you
was like,
mean you're Phil Lester's old comforter?
and it's like they didn't even need to have the picture next to it of like the bed. I was like,
I know what you're exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
like I already know what is going on. So the next thing kind of to do with this is they announced that Alien Romulus is getting a sequel with
Yes.
Kaylee Spaney. Is that how you say your name? And then oh my god, his name starts with a D.
I'm very excited for this because I loved Alien Romulus.
And I am watching Alien Romulus this week, so I will have my thoughts. Sorry. We just got an update from about Club Chalamet about her stance.
Oh my gosh, so in season 1 we talked about Club Chalamet briefly, so if you want to go listen to that, but we just got an update about the Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest from Club Chalamet herself.
Oh, and it looks like the Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest was for a charity.
Nice.
Good job, Ampo.
Does she go, or does she say she
No,
couldn't
she
go?
didn't go. And then everyone was like, many of you think you caught me in the gotcha moment from this tweet below after Timmy made a cool surprise appearance at the lookalike contest yesterday. It's not that deep, folks. I'm thrilled he was there. Then talks about the charity. Look at the PR he got from it and the headlines that have returned the focus on him and demonstrated how much he loves and respects his fans. He was
She's
only there.
a lot.
She's a lot.
She's a trip.
We don't.
Please go listen to the episode where we did discuss Club Chalamet, because she's a lot.
She's a lot. Like
and
it
it's
was
a
like,
long story.
It's a long story. But back to Alien Romulus. I'm just gonna look up the actor, because you create a PDF of Timothy Chalamet. No, he's really cool. David Johnson.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, so those two are coming back for the second Alien Romulus, and then they also announced 2 Predator movies. One of them I think is already with Elle Fanning, and the other one is a secret one. And then later on, someone from the company came out and said, yeah, an Alien Predator movie's gonna probably happen soon in the next few years. And I'm like, okay, guys, that's obviously
That's what the
secret
secret is.
movies.
Yeah, Marvel does that too, where they'll be like, "Ooh, we got an untitled thing on the slate," and then I'm like, "Didn't you say like 3 years ago that you were gonna do another Spider-Man movie, and it's not on the slate yet?" I'm pretty sure that that's what that is.
But I'm well, because obviously you've seen Alien Romulus and I have not. So I'm also glad that they're doing stories that are connected now to the franchise, because like a lot of the stories now for Alien are just like singular movies, and now they're like actually building characters in the franchise.
Yeah, it's also great. I was telling my dad this because he was like, "Oh, are there like a bunch of like people from the other ones in this?" And it's like, no, this is like a completely like new story, but they're like, it's like kind of, it's connected through like small things. It's
Yeah.
not like shoving it in your face. So like if you've never seen the other ones, then you could totally go into this and like be completely fine. So yeah, I don't know. I like it better that way instead of like in your face. Like
Yeah, because it takes place during the middle of Alien 1 and 2, correct?
I don't know about any of that. I'm gonna be
Okay.
completely
Okay.
honest.
But I know Sigourney Weaver is open to coming back, so that might be an option. But I do agree with you where I like it's kind of the same thing with like kind of like the Scream reboot until it drove into a wall. But like they focused enough on the new characters, especially in the sixth one, that I think like they stand on its own. So I think
Right.
that would go really well with Alien Romulus.
Right. Sorry if I keep looking down. It's just that the Covenant is distracting me.
We should do a whole episode on the Covenant.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Julia gifted me a DVD of the Covenant, and it's the best gift I've ever gotten.
And now you have tickets from
Oh
The
yeah, and I have
Apprentice in it.
tickets from yeah. We'll talk about that. We have talked about that.
Yeah, we just
In
haven't
the
in the future.
yes.
And the last thing that we want to talk about for pop culture catch up is so Olivia Rodrigo's world tour is going to be a concert movie released on Netflix, and they just had the premiere with it, with her, Laffy, and Chapel Row in there, and Letterbox was there.
Ooh.
And
we love Letterbox.
We love
are
Letterbox.
number one fans.
Letterbox.
If you're listening, we're your number one fans.
But it was really funny because Letterbox tweeted out a picture of Olivia. Not Olivia. You're Olivia. Picture. Wait.
We're both Olivia.
You're both Olivia.
We're both Olivia.
But you also come into the story that I was about to tell.
Oh.
But they posted a picture of Olivia Rodrigo, and it was just a picture of her with the mic. And then Olivia turned to me and was like, "We're getting Olivia Rodrigo's top 4." Yeah, there it is. So where is the top 4? I think Discussing Film posted
the top 4 was let's see if I'm gonna get this right.
I know at least one of them was Twilight. Worst Person in the World.
Worst Person in the World. Great pick.
I think one of them was also Lady Bird.
Lady Bird. Oh my gosh, what was the last one? She has taste.
She does have taste.
She has taste.
Because she has a fun one, and then she has like...
Yeah, you have to have a fun one in there. I hate whenever all the top 4s are like some pretentious...
I agree.
Like, I'm just like, have fun.
Yeah, guys.
Have fun. If there's a movie that you're like, oh, I could get made fun of for this...
Like, who cares?
Or whatever. It's like, so what? You like the movie. It's your top 4.
We're
trying to
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. I love Gone Girl.
I've never seen Gone.
Oh my gosh, you have to watch Gone Girl. I love Gone Girl, and I love Lady Bird. And I have only watched Worst Person in the World once, but I will watch it again, and I loved it the first time. So
yeah, I'm only 50% of her top 4, but I agree with you where it's like you gotta have a fun one. Like you can't just have like that's why one of my friends like their whole like top 4 like 2 of them are like the Film Bro movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I can trust them because the other 2 movies are like it and like Back to the Future or something.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, I can trust that. So, like, even though Olivia Rodrigo's not a film bro, but, like, at least she has, like, a fun one.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know, having Gone Girl in your top 4 is, like, very telling of the kind of person
Yeah,
that you
and
are, and I'm like,
also
you're my kind of person.
someone
Also, Gone Girl was, a lot of Gone Girl was filmed where I was born.
Oh.
Yeah, in Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you were born in Wyoming.
No.
I know.
No, God, no. God, no. Grew up there, was not born there.
Someone should make edits of Olivia Rodrigo's music to some of these movies. I'm sure Twilight definitely.
I
But
don't know if Gone Girl ever. I don't know. I do save a lot of Gone Girl edits.
I haven't seen Gone, so I wouldn't know. Ladybird, definitely brutal, and an all-American bitch would go really well.
Yeah,
with
I
Lady-
have seen.
that makes a lot of sense.
That.
Um,
We should get to our main topic because we're very excited. We both have. We have.
these are supplied by
Supernatural
Olivia.
shirts.
I donated my
As a very
Supernatural
big
shirts.
Supernatural fan. We're not just talking about Supernatural today, though, because that would be boring. We have to talk about
A certain
event that happened this week as of uploading is the 4th anniversary of Destiel-gate. Yeah.
Yeah. So, before we get into this, we should explain to the viewers who have not suffered through Supernatural what Supernatural is about.
Supernatural. I'll get a synopsis of
Just
right
so,
here.
because there's so much going on with it.
Yeah, there's no way I can't just like tell you what the plot is because every season there's like a new plot. But Supernatural, according to Google, is an American TV series that explores mythology, Christian theology, and folklore. The show's main adversaries are demons, but the stories also draw inspiration from classic mythology, ghost stories, and urban legends. Yeah, there were 15 seasons of Supernatural.
Did there need to be 15 seasons?
No. They went about 10 over. That's how insane this is. They went about 10 seasons over. This is from somebody who watched the entire thing and actually enjoyed some of the seasons post season 5. However, should have been done as season 5.
I always forget. You watched all of it? Even
I've seen it all Supernatural.
Okay, because I think I stopped at season 13 and then I came back for one episode and then I left again.
I left and then I caught up.
Okay.
Because I knew when the last season was coming, I was like, oh, I do want to be caught up for this.
Okay.
So I was there. This is 327 episodes between 2005 and 2020. That's so crazy. I was 5 when Supernatural started, and I was 20 when it ended.
I was 3, and then I was 18.
This is so crazy. That's so crazy.
Imagine
I started watching Supernatural. I think I was 14.
I think I was also around the age of 14. I know that I watched 9 seasons in 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness. I don't remember the work I put in. I'm sure I put in some. Well,
because I was binging it on Netflix.
Well, yeah, that's what I did to catch up. I was like doing it at school too. Like I had my
mine
phone
was during
out,
summer.
like,
Mine was during summer break, so that's why I remembered it.
I had the phone under the desk at school in my lap, and I would be like,
I mean, you'd be learning other stuff from Supernatural than in school, like that salt protects you from demons.
The salt circle. Yeah. I feel like I had a dream about Supernatural last night in anticipation for this, but I don't remember what it was about.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to get my brain in the right space.
But our main topic is Destiel-gate.
Yes.
So
Destiel-gate was
how can
it is let me take you back. It's the final season of Supernatural. Everybody is super excited because this is like the longest TV show ever.
100%.
And I feel like even if you've never watched Supernatural all the way through, you've heard of things. You've definitely seen gifs. There's a running joke that there's or a gif, whatever, of there's always a picture or reaction gif or whatever of something in Supernatural, because literally everything happens in that show. Everything happens in that show. And I'm not even going to recommend it. I'm not going to recommend Supernatural. Is it good? That's debatable. Is it iconic? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it problematic? 100%. However, Destiel-gate is like, it's stuff that happened after a certain episode aired. And in order for me to tell you what Destiel-gate is, I have to tell you what Destiel is. So in the 4th season of Supernatural, a character who is an angel named Castiel appeared. Castiel is my favorite character.
I think he was mine too.
Yeah, he's great. He is played by Misha Collins.
Sorry.
Destiel is the ship name between Castiel and Dean Winchester. Dean Winchester is one of the leads. He's one of the main brothers. They lead the show. He is a Winchester brother.
Played by Jensen Ackles.
Played by Jensen Ackles. Yes, beautiful man. But these two characters, they have a lot of chemistry. I'm not gonna lie. I was never a Destiel person. I was never a Destiel shipper. However, they have a lot of chemistry, Misha Collins and Jensen Ackles. So that just reflected onto the screen.
They were even referenced in Last of Us 2, the game, wasn't it?
Yeah. Somebody, a developer, put in a note, and names were, wasn't it like a note, and the names were Castiel or Cass
it was
Dean
no,
it
was Misha and Jensen.
Got it.
Okay, anyway, I interrupted you. I just wanted to sprinkle in that little fact.
Yeah. No, that's funny.
Just shows the chemistry.
Yes, and they were on AO3 for years. They were like the top searched. Yeah. They very, very popular ship. Like, we are talking like Larry levels. Well, not quite, but almost Larry levels. Like, people were like crazy about them. And that's what I'm gonna say about Larry, because I'm a little afraid of the Larrys. I'm not one, but I'm a little afraid of you guys. You guys are scary. But so Supernatural was basically coming back at this time because it was the last season. So people who hadn't seen the show in years were like coming back to watch the last season, and like it was a big thing. And people were kind of like, okay, so is Destiel ever gonna be canon or whatever? Because they have been queer baiting. Oh, they did this so much.
They also made fun of it too, like in some episodes.
They're meta. The show gets really meta around season 4, and they do joke about Destiel a lot. Like, they're aware within show. They are aware, and the creators are aware and the actors are aware, and they get questions about Destiel all the time and all this stuff. It's a big thing. So when this final season was happening, all the Destiel shippers were like waiting, like, oh, something's gonna get happen. Like a Destiel thing. Is Destiel gonna be canon? And by the way, there has been, in my opinion, there was no hint, clue, anything that these two were ever gonna get together. In my opinion, I was just like, there's just a lot of chemistry between them, and I don't think that there's anything happening. But we're gonna, but
episode 18, season 15 that aired on November 5th, 2020. Sorry, we're reading the wiki, and the first thing I see is canonization.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't consider it canonization because people are like, Destiel happened. Now, I didn't watch the episode yet.
I've never seen it.
I've seen it, but I didn't watch it the night it aired. And then when it did, and I was hearing all over Tumblr, and by the way, I hadn't opened Tumblr in a while, and I'm seeing
So many
on
people
Tumblr
did that.
and I'm seeing on Twitter people being like, Destiel was just like confirmed. Like Destiel is canon. And I'm like, what? I turn on that episode and the scene is strange.
Oh yeah.
It's one scene. So no, Destiel was not canon. I'm just gonna say that. I feel like I'm safe to say that. Destiel was not confirmed to be canon. What was confirmed to be canon is a one-sided I don't know, confession of love from Castiel the Angel to Dean Winchester.
Didn't Dean just not respond?
It was weird. Okay, so the scene was strange. It was very stiff and like almost as if. Now I heard there was a lot of filming
because of
oddities because of COVID. It almost appeared as if Misha Collins was not even in the same room as Jensen Ackles. And I'm like, was Misha given a different script than Jensen, and Jensen was told to sit there and react? Or like, it's so weird. So basically they're in a room. I don't remember the plot, however,
I don't think
of that season. But I'm pretty sure what happened. Yes, get that up. Okay. So I'm pretty sure what happened is that Castiel is on this side and Dean is on this side. They're facing each other. They do not look like they're in the same room. They are in the scene. However, just like sometimes like when the composition of shots, you're like, they don't look like they were talking to each other or anything. That's how it looked. They're in a dark room. Castiel is professing his love to Dean, but it is not like that. Like the way that it's being said, we need to find the actual words that were said.
Oh wait, I can look it up on Castiel's wiki because his quote on there is the whole
It's strange.
speech.
It's vague in a way that's almost like, I feel bad for you Destiel people because like
you deserve better.
That was crazy. Like the way that they did it was so vague and workaround, almost like they were trying not to upset the people who were so anti-Destiel, but they were also trying to like appease the people who were very Destiel, like who were shippers. But
SpongeBob, get off my wiki. There we go.
Okay. Is that it?
Yep.
Oh, I'm not reading all that.
I can read it. You've done.
Yeah. So he says
at the end, maybe
at the end. So he's basically, he knows he's dying or he's going somewhere. We'll get there. And he says, I pulled you out of hell knowing you has changed me, is what it says. Knowing you have changed me because you cared. I cared about you. I cared about Sam. I cared about Jack. I cared about the whole world because of you. You changed me, Dean. Because it is what? I love you. Goodbye, Dean. So he says, I love you. You could take that in many ways. You have to remember 11 seasons worth of these two like knowing each other and caring about each other. So people are like, the way that Misha says it, very, suggestive. And then they cut to Dean, who's just legitimately standing there like this. And then Castiel gets taken to super hell. And I wish I was joking. Okay. It is super hell.
It's not, okay. As much as I love the term of super hell, I believe it's called the empty, but it is.
So, in the show, there's regular hell. People have gone there. We've seen scenes in hell. It's a wild show if you have never seen Supernatural. There's scenes in hell, but super hell is the empty is basically what it sounds like. It is an empty, like dark, like you cease to exist basically in the empty. And he gets taken there, which the implications are very strange.
Well, yeah, it goes into the whole thing with the bury your gays trope, where if a character is either confirmed to be gay or has been gay,
or in this case, vaguely, sort of, kind of gay, maybe,
is either killed off, and especially with the notation, the kind of notation of like gay people going to hell, just makes it even more kind of odd and very interesting choice. So
yeah, weird choice. Weird choice. They've made lots of weird choices over the years. I mean, literally, I can't say that they aren't queer baiting. Like,
Oh, no,
I
yeah.
can't say that. Like, the creator, the showrunner, post season 5, or there's probably been multiple, I don't know, in interviews will not, they're doing the Sherlock thing where they won't outright say, like, oh, they aren't together, but like they also won't.
Yeah, they want people to
Yes,
continue
because
watching
that
the show.
is why some people are watching the show, is because like, oh, Destiel, the hope
The
for
hope.
Destiel lives on. I mean, they stand real close to each other when they talk, and like they do a lingering look. Sometimes there will be a joke that they'll throw in, where somebody will call Castiel Dean's boyfriend, or like whatever it is, and then they'll like give each other a weird look.
Yeah,
like it's stuff like that where it's like, okay, everybody knows, and you're playing into it, and you're being like weird about it.
Yeah, because I remember there was it was one of the last seasons I watched where they did the musical episode, and this is where they get like very meta with its universe. And I think at some point they talk about shipping Dean and Castiel, and Dean gives a look that's kind of like, okay, dude, like homophobia, I guess. But this whole thing's like caused the internet to kind of go in on itself.
But we also have to remember this was happening election day.
Well, I was just about to go into that, where this was all happening during the 2020 election. So while we're worrying about who's going to get elected, Joe Biden.
Do you remember the Putin resignation stuff?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so I remember hopping on Twitter, and before I even heard about like the Destiel thing, people were like, I saw Destiel and Putin being put in the same sentence many times on Twitter. Like, it was very like, I don't know, it was so funny.
It was just like, because all of this was happening around the same time, and I think that just made it so much like crazier and like wild. And I remember there was a whole thing with Misha Collins and Joe Biden where, so I think Joe Biden followed Misha Collins. So then, so I guess then that means Joe Biden must know about Destiel, because
he is a Destiel shipper.
Exactly. And my specific,
this was a conspiracy to turn the votes.
So this is how we get the votes, is we get Destiel shippers. But I remember my friends forced me to watch Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
And I fell asleep during it because
Ratatouille, by the way, is it's basically a really bad ripoff of Ratatouille. It's like one of those like terribly animated, like,
yeah, but I fell asleep during it, and I woke up, and one of my friends goes, hey Julia, Joe Biden follows Misha Collins on Twitter. And I was like, good for him. And then I went back to sleep. And then I think my review for Ratatouille was, I fell asleep during this movie, and then I found out that Joe Biden follows Misha Collins, so he must know about Destiel.
Yes, but basically this like stirred up a bunch of stuff. All the Destiel shippers were going crazy, but then like also people were like the scene was weird and all this stuff. The actors silent. They literally shut up all of a sudden. And if you know these actors, they don't shut up. So love that for them, by the way. Love them. But yeah, they were this entire last season, they were real weird about it. All the actors were very
Which is
strange, very vague about things. I went to the very last time that they were presenting at Hall H, uh, at
okay.
Comic Con, and I remember the vibes were all a little off because it was weird because they film they're one of those shows that they don't film like ahead. They film like as the
As
episodes are
those,
coming out.
yeah.
So I remember people being like, well, trying to figure out what was happening because it was like, okay, well, Misha's in Canada right now, but Jensen and Jared are not, and like it was like a whole thing where it was super weird and like I don't know. Everybody was like they're not filming at the same times, and like and then COVID was happening, so it was like it was a whole thing. But this entire thing was like going crazy for a while. But you know how in different countries,
Oh no, here we go.
you know how in different countries they the episodes come out a little later, maybe earlier in some countries. Well, on November 25th, people discovered this Latin American Spanish dub of the show in which Dean reciprocated, in which Dean says like and I love you too, Castiel, or like something like that, like
Yeah, it's
like
it
me too, or like something like that.
yeah, an IU cast.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So then people were like, maybe they did shoot together. Like this is whenever all the conspiracy stories, like maybe they did originally shoot together, but then they like wanted to backtrack it and that they didn't want Dean to reciprocate. So then they called Jensen back a different time. And then people were working out their schedules and like all this stuff. And it's like and then they like reshot like the the whole thing and like it was like such a weird thing. So then people were confused and some people were happy because then they like took this as like confirmation, like, well, the Spanish dub did it, which means they were given a script that Dean reciprocates in. And I'm like, I don't know. And then this was like leaked, wasn't it? Like it wasn't even
Yeah, no.
like it
Like
was weird. Like on Tumblr there was a video and it was like looked like it was shot on like a phone, like behind the scenes.
yeah.
Like it was so weird.
Yeah, and then also in addition, fans made many jokes and memes about the fact that Destiel was only canon in Spanish. So there was a Tumblr post where I think there was an account called "Is Destiel Canon Yet?" and they posted "Is Destiel Canon Yet?" and then on November 25th, 2020, they wrote "C," referencing that it's
Well,
only canon in Spanish.
Well, and then because the actors were being like weirdly like hush hush about all this, and because of the Spanish dub, also remember like they silenced you and stuff was
Yeah,
like trending on
yeah,
Twitter. So
they
people were
silenced
like,
you and they silenced them began trending on Twitter with outraged fans demanding Dean's canonical
oh
bisexual
yeah,
identity.
because people like believe that Dean is bisexual, and like there's so many hints and stuff that I'm like, but at the same time, I'm going to be completely honest. It's like, sure, but also we have to remember that they were queer baiting heavily,
No,
So
yeah.
it's like they could be playing into this and then it's not actually the truth.
Yeah, but sometimes people just want to project. I did that on
That's
Dean.
well, that's true. That's true. It's just like it's I don't know. It's a whole thing, and it's
There's different sides coming into it. I agree
yes.
with you where it's because of the queer baiting that affects that kind of
Yes, because
view.
they
They
were
were
queer
definitely
baiting.
queer baiting.
Whether you ship Castiel or not, which I did not, and I can still see that they were queer baiting. They played into this heavily. At first, it was like jokes and stuff, but now it's like, okay, this is like truly. And so then people were now like searching for any sort of evidence, hitting up people who worked on the production of the dub and being like, can we see the script? Like, it was a whole
Amazing.
thing. Like, and then people were trying to find hints that like Destiel was actually like supposed to end up together and like all this stuff. Like, it's crazy. And then Misha Collins came out, finally
Finally.
came out and was like,
The
and
first
said
time.
it was a, yes, and said it was a rogue translator. And he said there was no conspiracy and like, and all this stuff, which led to like people being like, and then you know how people are. People are like, oh, they're silencing Misha, which was so funny. But it's just very funny to me. Like it is hilarious how the scene played out because it really was like immediately after Castiel was confirmed
to be
gay, he got taken to super hell seconds later. Which is just, oh my gosh.
I just think that's really funny compared to, because I've been watching like Good Omens, and like the whole thing is that it's like an angel and a demon are like in love with each other,
Yeah.
and then
Oh right, and then there were a bunch of like fake dubs
yes,
too. Do
there
you
was
remember
there
that?
was a fake alien. Fake
Italian.
Italian. I'm not calling Italians aliens.
Mm.
I just, for some reason, was thinking Good Omens.
Yeah, there was like a fake Italian dub. That's so mean.
That's
By the
so
way, that's
sad.
so mean.
Like the Destiel
Where
shippers out there
it was like confirmed again, but like obviously it was fake.
yeah,
So
like those poor Destiel shippers are at their lowest, and then they just make them get even lower by like making a fake dub.
yeah, it was strange. But then this got people thinking, oh well, they're not going to keep Castiel in Super Hell, so because like I remember the empty and I remember I'm pretty sure they got somebody else out of the empty once. So they were like, oh, okay, well Castiel is like a big character. They're not going to keep him in Super Hell through the finale, right?
Right.
Right.
It's like the Padme and
Yeah.
Anakin meme.
Right.
Like,
Right. So then the lead up, more episodes were airing. I think there was 19 episodes in that last one.
Mhm.
More episodes were airing and people were like,
Where's
okay,
Destiel?
is Castiel gonna pop back up? What's happening? The last episode aired and people were like, yes, okay, this is it, guys. This is it. We're gonna get our Destiel happy ending. He did not even show up in the final episode. Castiel didn't even show up.
And then the rest of the finale was like just memed so much because
yes, because he was gone. It was like they forgot about him.
They were like, I feel like we're forgetting something, and then just did not realize it.
Yeah, well, they've done that before with Adam. Adam is Sam and Dean's brother.
Oh, is that the guy from Percy Jackson?
Maybe.
Luke Castellan. He has blonde hair.
I don't know. Adam.
Adam.
They forgot Adam in hell.
Oh, poor Adam.
Poor Adam.
I'm looking him up. I think it is the guy from. I think he commented on my TikTok. It is him. Sorry.
Yes, Adam, who they forgot in hell. They forgot another person in hell. They forgot their friend for many years in hell. And then like there are lots of weird choices, like the vampires who, spoiler alert, when Dean dies at the end of Supernatural, and like the vampires are wearing clown masks and they don't talk, and it's like, okay, you didn't want to pay these people, and it's like, and then Sam's old man wig, they do like a flash forward, and Sam is in a Party City wig when they tried to make him like an old man because I don't know.
Yeah, and then Dean, doesn't he die from a nail?
Yes, he gets pushed by one of the vampires onto a big old rusty nail. I think we get a scene of him in heaven.
Yes, because he's driving his car.
And is Bobby? Is Bobby? I love Bobby,
know.
guys. Bobby is my favorite character in Supernatural. I was devastated when he died, but yeah, I don't know. It was so weird.
It was such a weird.
It was a weird day.
It
It's a weird
was a
day.
weird like month.
Yeah.
Because it went from like the 5th of November, where the election, Vladimir Putin, Destiel love confession, and then
Yes.
the finale aired at the end of November, because I know the Spanish dub came out. People figured out the Spanish dub like the 25th of November.
Yeah. So we just wanted to pay homage to this weird thing in fandom history. 4 years of this, 4 years of Destiel-gate. If you were there, if you were
there in the trenches,
then we commend you. We were also there. And tell me if you're a Destiel shipper. Tell us if you're a Destiel shipper, or if you were a Destiel anti, or maybe if you're just in the middle like me, where you're just like, I don't care. Or if you watch Supernatural, if we somehow convinced you to watch Supernatural through this,
I'm so sorry if we did. Don't.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's rough, buddy.
It's rough. But we just wanted to talk about this. Do we think that Destiel-gate is a pop culture high or a pop culture low?
See, that's the thing, is that the thing itself, like all the events.
I want to vote.
No, because like the thing itself, like the election, Vladimir Putin,
it all just fell
like,
into place.
Right.
And that's why I want to make it a pop culture high, though, because it was. But at the same time, it's very much a pop culture like middle of the road. But we have to vote.
I know,
because a pop culture. It's too iconic to not be a pop culture high, because it's like, so funny. And it's so funny. The memes are so good. We'll put some on Instagram. They're so good. Okay. I think it's a pop culture high. Destiel-gate was a pop culture high.
It's just like the embodiment of the internet during that time was so funny.
And it brought the Supernatural fandom back together. Like, we had been fractured for so long, and it really did just
it just brought us all together.
SBN family back together. So go ahead and geek out in the comments or over on our socials. Those links will be in the description, or they're probably popping up on screen right now too. If you prefer to listen to this show on another platform, then those links to alternative platforms are in the description as well. Also, follow @Hive Media on all other social platforms for more great content. We will catch you back here in the Hive next week. Until then, please take care of yourselves. We've been Hives and Lows.